In news from the campaign trail, as Americans struggle with high prices, the candidates are competing with their visions for the economy. Ephraim Graham has that story and more from our CBN newsroom. Ephraim.
Andrew, the latest data shows inflation is cooling, but prices on essentials like food and housing remain high. And Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump have different views on how to solve the problem. CBN's Brody Carter reports.
Economy is the top topic on the campaign trail as both campaigns lay out their plans to ease the burden of high prices on the American people. This as the latest data shows inflation dropped below 3% for the first time in 3 years, offering a glimmer of hope for those struggling to make ends meet.
Yes. I told you we're going to have a soft landing. We're going to have a soft landing. My policies are working. Start writing that way, okay?
Prices for energy, new and used cars, and clothing have dropped, offering some relief for consumers. However, over the past year, rent and housing costs have increased by 5%, alongside rising grocery prices, energy costs, and insurance rates. So while inflation may be cooling, the burden of everyday essentials remains.
The rent is ridiculous. I don't know what's going on in the world.
Now, since the economy going up, light bill going up, car insurance going up, it's kind of like make me live paycheck to paycheck, and that's a bummer.
Despite these struggles, Americans continue to spend. Retail sales saw a surprising 1% increase last month, and online shopping surged more than 6% compared to last year.
We're left with a situation where prices are continuing to rise. That means they have risen about 20% since early January 2020. That's a lot. That's historically high inflation, but they're not rising as much recently. And so that gives us hope that the worst of the inflation trend is behind us.
While President Trump suggested the economy might not be the top issue on the minds of voters earlier this week, he did lament the high cost of food.
When you look at the costs of groceries, the cost of bacon, where it went up 4 and 5 times. Bacon. I don't order bacon anymore. It's too expensive.
Vice President Harris is vowing to set a ban on food and grocery price gouging as part of her economic plan, while also proposing up to $25,000 in down payment assistance for first-time homebuyers. Trump criticized the proposal in a Thursday press conference focused on the economy.
Now Kamala is reportedly proposing communist price controls. She wants price controls. And if they worked, I'd go along with it too, but they don't work. They actually have the exact opposite impact and effect.
He also blasted the Biden administration's record on the economy and promised to reverse those policies if he wins. Hamrick says the complexity of the economic landscape requires more than political promises.
It's my hope and my prayer as an economic analyst and as an American that we'll have a higher level of political discourse in our country, not only in the coming months and coming years, about how to solve and resolve some of these very serious issues, many of which are really ultimately systemic.
Thursday, Biden and Harris announced an agreement with drug makers to lower the cost of 10 prescription drugs under Medicare. Harris is expected to outline her economic vision in North Carolina today. Brody Carter, CBN News.